Welcome to Life Beyond BS, where we ditch the belief systems and the bullshit and get real about life. Here it's about awareness, choice, and creating joy that actually lasts. No perfection, just honest talk and powerful change. I'm your host, Heather McNally, and let's get into it. Hey, friends, and welcome back to Life Beyond BS. I'm your host, Heather McNally, and today we're going to be talking about something that quietly shapes every single decision you make, whether you realize it or not. We're talking about what lights you up, why it matters, why you might feel disconnected from it, and why fear so often convinces you to stay exactly where you are, stuck, even when something inside you knows that there's more for you. And we're going to look at fear through both a human lens and, a brain science lens, because I love my brain science. But that's because understanding why fear shows up can change everything for you. So I want to start with a question for you. When was the last time something genuinely lit you up? Not impressed you, not looked good on paper, not even made sense logically. I mean, truly lit you up, like in your body. And before you answer that, just notice what happens when you hear that question. What lights you up? What's the first thing that just pops up for you? Some of you may have felt it. Some of you may have felt like a little warmth in your body. Some of you may have felt sadness. And some of you may have felt nothing at all. And if you felt nothing, I want you to hear this clearly. That does not mean there's nothing there. Numbness, that feeling of nothing, isn't the absence of desire. Doesn't mean you don't want. It's usually protection. You're protecting yourself. It's what happens when wanting something has felt unsafe for a very long time. Because many of us didn't grow up learning how to listen to what lights us up. We learned how to survive, just how to get by. And how many times have you asked somebody, like, how's everything? And they just say, oh, living the dream, or I'm just going day to day. At some point in your life, you learned that being responsible mattered more than being joyful, that maybe being realistic mattered more than being excited, that stability mattered more than feeling and being alive. For some people, survival meant being that strong one who can take on anything. For others, it meant being the peacemaker. For others, it meant not rocking the boat, not asking for too much, and not needing too much. And so you learned, and it was unconsciously. I'll feel later. I'll want XYZ later. I'll come back to myself later. But have you ever noticed that later has a quiet way of turning into never? You never make that move unless something interrupts the pattern. I want you to pause here and say something very important. If you're listening and thinking, why didn't I know this sooner? Or why did it take so long? Don't turn this into another way to judge yourself. Please don't do that. We do that too much. You didn't miss something, you adapted. And adaptation is intelligence, not failure. It means you're getting along, you're surviving. So, what lights you up isn't random, it's information. Your body feels alignment before your brain feels certainty. That's why so many people wait for confidence and never move. Confidence comes from action. It comes after you've made that move, not before it. That's when you're proving that you can get something done. The first signal is almost always curiosity. It's a little tug, a quiet, what if? What if I could? And fear loves to interrupt right there before curiosity has the time to grow into clarity. Your nervous system notices resonance long before your conscious mind can explain it. That's not weakness, that's design. Let's talk a little bit about fear because fear gets blamed for a lot of things that it didn't actually cause. Now, fear isn't dramatic, it's not like screaming at you. Most of the time, fear sounds practical. It sounds like, oh, now isn't the right time, or you should wait, or let's just be realistic here. Fear loves to dress up as logic, and your brain is very convincing when it thinks it's protecting you because that's its job. The brain science part, your brain's number one job is not your happiness, it is survival. And survival means predictability, familiarity, efficiency. It doesn't want to waste the energy. It wants to keep you safe. So when you think about changing something, leaving a situation, starting something new, choosing something unfamiliar, your brain goes, wait, we don't know how this ends. And uncertainty feels like danger to the nervous system. That's how we were created. So fear isn't saying this is wrong. Fear is actually saying this is unfamiliar. Like, do we really want to go there? Fear constricts your body. Your chest will tighten, your breath shortens, and your thinking just loops and loops and loops. Ever been stuck there where you're just like, but if I do this, but then there's this, and it just goes around and around and around. Intuition feels different. It's quieter. It doesn't rush. It doesn't usually come with a full plan, which I know a lot of people want that full plan. It comes with a feeling. And that's why so many people dismiss intuition because we're taught to trust explanations more than sensations. But your body has been keeping score far longer than your mind has. Fear says, stay. Intuition says, ooh, there's something here. And here's the part that changes everything. Fear will tell you to stay, even when staying is slowly draining you, like draining you of your essence. I want to share a personal story. So it took me years to get to be the person that I am today. I lacked self confidence. I felt completely unworthy. I'm here now as a global podcaster, a public speaker, an author, and a coach who helps people reclaim who they are, their identity. But for years, years, I let fear stop me. I was so excited and lit up in my life anytime I could help someone in my personal life. Like my friends, family would talk to me, and if I could help them, I was just on cloud nine. And I started thinking that I had a message to share. I had something in me that knew I could make a difference in people's lives. I just knew it. I had gone from miserable, like hated myself, completely worthless in my opinion, didn't feel like anybody wanted to be my friend. It was really hard. It was very dark and definitely didn't love myself. To someone now who began loving herself, I do love myself now. And though I knew I had a message to share, that you don't have to be stuck in misery, in hating yourself, in self abuse, because that's what I did, I was terrified. I was terrified, not of sharing my thoughts and knowledge, but of taking that next step. At that point, I thought it would be a blog, maybe just share my thoughts, not a business or anything like that. I just thought, Maybe I can share my thoughts, just sharing in hopes that it would help just one person. And it was all fear that was holding me back. It was the unknown. What if I make a fool of myself? What if I sound stupid? What if nobody reads or cares? What if it blows up and people know who I am? All of the thoughts, everything that the world could hand me, I was frozen in fear. And I stayed there for years. We're talking like 8 years of when I thought about the message being lit up and when I thought about doing it, terrified. And logically, fear kept me safe. It kept me in my comfort zone. I didn't have to fear because I didn't move on it. I did nothing. And so what it did was it kept me stuck. It kept me thinking, wishing, hoping, and dreaming. It was almost painful, but not doing. Every time I would think about the message, about sharing it, about helping anyone who was in that miserable space that I had been in, oh my God, I lit up. And I felt it in my body. I felt the expansion of excitement. I knew it was right, but my fear stopped me. Or should I say, I let my fear stop me. When I started acting, actually doing things, I started to see that my body was telling me the truth all along, that I was capable, that the fear was keeping me from achieving my lifelong dream of helping other people. Now, here's where people get overwhelmed. They think that choosing what lights them up means blowing up their life, quitting their job, and quitting everything and making this massive leap. No, you're not choosing the rest of your life right now in this moment. You're choosing the next aligned step in your life. Your nervous system only needs to know one thing. Am I safe taking this step? And safety grows through evidence. Evidence that you can do something and survive, not pressure, evidence. One aligned action is evidence. It can be small, and evidence rewires the brain. And this is why willpower alone does not work long term, and why identity and safety do. The first thing that truly changed my life in terms of believing I could start a business was my first business coach. Her name is Lachelle Weemy, and she became so much more than that to me. She became a mentor and a friend. She and I talked, and she actually pulled out of me what I really wanted. She had great questions. She has an amazing intuition. And it truly wasn't just a blog, it was an identity. It was who I already was becoming, but wasn't ready to let go of the fear. It was a woman who wanted to serve others. That's what I wanted. It was a woman with a mission. It was incredible to share this all with her and then have her show me from my own words what I was saying, what it was that I was truly looking to do and build. That awareness, that light she was shining on my identity that was already within me, that changed everything for me. It showed me what was true, what was real for me, and it opened my eyes to so much possibility. I actually started to really see me. And there's the confidence because I started to see me. And then I proved I could do something. And then that gave me the proof, the evidence that I needed. This is the work that I do inside of Happy, Healthy, Whole. That's my signature program. It's not about forcing clarity. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about creating enough internal safety for your real truth to come back online. When you feel safe in your body, you can finally hear yourself again. Those dreams that you had, maybe you buried them, or maybe they'd come up occasionally and you didn't think you could do it. Well, when you hear yourself, your life starts changing naturally. Not because you pushed, but because you aligned. I want to tell you that when I was many years ago, I should say, I had heard go to bed and think of things that you were grateful for and something you're looking forward to, and do it on a nightly basis. So I started to do it, and I started talking to myself differently. And I started proving to myself that I had much more to be grateful for than not. And that alone started to change my life. That alone helped me to start changing naturally. That alone helped me sleep better, helped me wake up in a better mood, and helped me be a more positive person. If this episode stirred something in you, please don't rush past it. Sit with it, let it speak. Because what lights you up isn't asking you to have it all figured out. It's asking you to listen. And every moment of every single day is an opportunity to choose yourself, not through pressure, but through awareness. I want to say that if you like this episode, please share it. Please be so kind as to like, comment, and follow or subscribe. It helps this message get out to anybody who needs to hear it. And thank you so much for sharing this space with me. My hope is that you walk away knowing that you have the power to choose differently. Go live fully, freely, and unapologetically. Your life beyond BS starts now. I'm so grateful you were here today. Remember, your peace, joy, and happiness aren't found in the BS. They're found in your choices. If this episode spoke to you, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe, and share it with a friend. For ways to connect or work with me, check the show notes or visit heathermcnally.com. Until next time, keep choosing you and keep living your life beyond BS.